What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Ranny's Peach Tea, episode 209. For those who still may or may not be counting. I mean, who knows?
209.
We're counting vaguely. We're not reacting to it too much anymore. But we know our age now, right? Like, we're good and comfortable. And that's it. But yes, on this
We're
Monday
an elderly
evening,
podcast.
elderly podcast, we'll call it that. Been on the block for a minute, we'll call it that.
That's right.
Yeah, opening up with a little Queens of the Stone Age, Song for the Dead, which was the ending song at the end of Alien Earth episode 7, because Jason, I love what they've been doing with every episode where they hit, like, they have Rage Against the Machine, Metallica, Godsmack.
Yeah.
It's
It's a hell of a soundtrack that they're giving with us, and I like that it ends it because it kind of gives a tonal recap of the episode, but it doesn't play during, because I find like rock music and sci-fi to be a bit distracting, so it does it perfectly.
Yeah. That's our opening song this week. But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. I know we're off for a minute, so we got to catch up a little bit here, but we got a lot of shows to talk about here. This evening, we got Alien Earth, episode 6 and 7, Peacemaker, season 2, episodes 4 and 5, and Gen V, season 2, dropped on us last Wednesday. So lots to get into here, and I can't wait to get into it. Jason, what's up, dude? What's going on?
Let's just say school's back, which is back in session, not just for me, but for Gen V. Things are good. Things are good here. Happy Rosh Hashanah for those who are celebrating. I get nice. My son and I are off tomorrow, so that's nice. Let's see. What have I been doing? Well, I'm still watching Columbo, but I can't keep talking about that. So I've been playing. I don't know if you've ever heard this game. It's called Hitman. Have you ever heard of this game?
Yes. They do a shitty adaptation into like 2 movies too?
I've only seen one of them. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Okay. No, it might be 2. It might be 2. But there's definitely one. It definitely isn't good. But I got into that game like right before school started, and now I beat the shit out of that first one, which was an old game, and then I realized I could buy 2 and 3 for like $40, like, not each, just together. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm this is what I'm doing for a while now. I'm running the Hitman gauntlet.
And I saw there's a new Borderlands coming out that also made me think. I'm thinking of the other day. There's a 4 coming out, I think.
Yes, there is. I'm very excited for that. Borderlands is one of the few video game properties that I will buy, like, sight unseen when it comes out. Like, I'll pay the $60 for it. One of the very few, because usually I'm like, I could spend $60, or I could play the backlog of games I have and wait till this is $20 in about 4 years, which is what I usually do.
Jesus, dude, they're up to $60. Oh my god! And then like expansion packs and all of that right now.
Well, yeah, it's you can buy expansion packs, but buying expansion packs, it's like buying like a sequel light to the game. Like here's new stuff to do in the game. So that's worth the money, and because usually it's like $20, although some of them are expensive. Some of them are like completely, it's like adding on a new game to it. So I used to complain too, but then a friend of mine like kind of made me aware, like, think of all the money they spend in writing it, getting people to voice it, and like they've become expensive processes.
I was just kind of like, dude, just make the game and just give me all of that all in one thing. If you even, I don't know, I guess you're right. It's if the game was $80 and then they didn't have to buy an expansion pack, then whatever.
Right. So. Right. And also people play games differently now, and the game industry is different. You know how many games get put out that they shouldn't be? They're not ready. They're unplayable on some systems. Like,
oh, that's you told me some of
crazy.
that, right? Wasn't it like Avengers or something like that? Didn't that come out and it was like crap? And then Suicide Squad.
Avengers was, yeah, the Avengers and Suicide Squad, and they had to be fixed up. Avengers was okay; it was just boring. But there's a video game called Cyberpunk with Keanu Reeves in it, actually.
Yes,
Which,
I've heard of that.
when they put it out, yeah, it's a great game. When I got the PS5, I was able to play it, but they sold it for $60 on the PS4, and it was unplayable when they sold, like, to the point where they had to just refund everyone their money back.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, so it's like that's the gaming industry is kind of crazy, where they will put out games that are not ready with the idea of we'll patch it later.
That's horrible. That is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
My god, bunch of pricks. Man, that's kind of upsetting, man.
Yeah,
to hear
no,
about that. That really sucks.
So that's why, like, $60 for a game that's finished. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's jump into it then. All right, so we're going to kick off here with Alien Earth episodes 6 and 7. I know it's been out for a minute, but we'll still drop that spoiler warning across, because if you haven't seen Alien Earth, you're not caught up, even though the finale is tomorrow night. Then come check us out later. But I'm assuming that if you're tuning in right now, you probably watched 6 and 7.
I can't believe the finale is already here, man.
I am so annoyed that this is only 8 episodes. I read something the other day. They were talking about, like, that there will be more. A season 2 is a strong possibility.
Okay.
Which also leads me to believe they probably were, planning this as just a one-off thing, right? Because we know where this franchise goes eventually, so they probably have a window.
Yeah, right.
That you got to work within here. So, yes, I mean, I don't think it's bullshit to just say every week I kind of feel like we're almost getting the next best episode, even though I don't think 6 was the best one at the point, but then 7 came out, and 7 is
7.
wild.
7 is good, but I'll tell you something. I thought 6 was great. Like,
no, it is. It's a great episode. Don't get me wrong.
The Eye, man, the Eye is the goat. Like when he lures the key. Yeah, thank you. When he lures Toonses or whatever the kid's name in, and like he scares him and he makes him shut the door and he ultimately kills him. I mean, my God, he's the smartest thing there.
He is such. The Eye itself is just this master manipulator of the whole thing. It's like the puppet master there, and the way that they show that, because he's a synthetic or hybrid, if you want to call it, that's what they're calling the Lost Boys, like hybrids, I guess. So just so we're not confusing things, because there are classic synthetics in the show.
That's right.
So I don't want to mess it up, but yeah, the way he's melting and everything like that, and he gets all fucked up after that because the Fly is like the all-star of episode 6, where it's just spitting up and just completely melts the shit.
It was crazy. It was so cool though when they explained, like, yeah, this creature must have been in a place without a lot of organic material, so it just learned to digest inorganic material.
Yeah, because they and I'm glad they emphasized that though, because the idea is with the Eye that it needs it's a symbiotic creature that goes ahead and will need, it can't, I don't think it can jump into the eye of a synthetic, right? Like,
no, I think it needs to be a living creature.
Yeah, it needs to be a living creature. So I'm glad that they specified that, right? Because like a xenomorph can't go ahead and, like, the face hugger can't jump onto a synthetic and do the whole process of the chest bursting and yada yada. So
right.
I'm glad that they categorized that. That was one of the big takeaways in this episode, and then also we get more of the face to face with Yutani and shit. What is it that Wendy calls him? Cavalier. Boy
Cavalier,
genius.
the boy genius.
Because yeah, she always refers to him as
Yeah.
boy genius, and I said that to Angie too. I just random like the boy genius is not your friend. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, you'll think about it. Don't worry about it. Sorry. Because she says that a couple of times. She says that to people throughout this show, and I don't know why it makes me like giggle every single time. I think it's just the way she goes about it. But yeah, so Utani and Cavalier meet up, and they have their whole negotiation, and they're measuring dicks or whatever you want to call it, pissing contest about who's
he's got his
what and where.
He's in a bathrobe with his dirty bare feet on the table, and he was disgusting me. This character disgusts me. I hope he has a grisly end.
I have a feeling, and I'm going to save that until after episode 7 because I know we're going to theorize of what's going to happen in the finale.
I think I know where you're. I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be an eye-opening experience. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are firing, my friend, on all cylinders tonight. You're there.
The pun master. I think it's been a while. We haven't done this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if you, and I know you haven't written them down. I would love to see if we find out there's like a pad when they've like, I'm gonna just go.
No, I don't even think about them till I get on here.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. All right. So we're both on the same page. Whatever. We think that the Eye is going to take over the boy genius / Cavalier at the end in the finale.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially after so I guess because we're jumping back and forth,
it's
right?
Fine,
like
fine.
we can talk about. Yeah. So like the conversation, because he brings the ghost / Eye into his office, and he's having a conversation with it. It is a conversation. And he shows him pi 3.14, and he says every intelligent species knows this, and the Eye hits 3 times with the hoof, shits once, and then bleeds 4 times.
Yeah,
and then the Cavalier has this idea like, oh yeah, we got to get this Eye into something intelligent, something I can talk to, because if you remember, that's his whole mission here, is to have a nice conversation with someone. So that's got to be like, once he said we're gonna get one of these idiots down here and put him in there, I was like, oh, I think you're gonna have the Eye in you, buddy.
Yeah, that's definitely so we can mark that down as one of our predictions for the finale. Okay, so we're on the same page with that. Another thing in episode 6 that is really explored a bit and taken to another level in episode 7 is Wendy's communication with the xenomorph, like the baby at the time xenomorph in episode 7. A little bit of a different story here because she's also communicating with the full-grown xenomorph, and that goes to some wild places. Yeah, that is also a haunting concept, that you have the mind of a 13-year-old, right? What was she, 13, I think? About 12, 13 years old, I think they said she was.
Yeah, I think so.
In the mind of a child in an adult body with the ability to communicate and command a xenomorph.
Yeah, I gotta say that she uses it responsibly with all things considered, but that is a scary thought. And I'll tell you something I did say on this very show, what are you going to do? Would you train xenomorphs? That's ridiculous. But if you had a way to control them, ooh, yeah, that's a risk worth taking.
She is one she has done what Weyland Yutani has been trying to do for how many movies, essentially weaponize the xenomorph perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, to its command. And I'm just curious, I'm so fascinated to find out what happens with this, like, down the line, because obviously, something I'm assuming happens with Wendy at some point before obviously we get to the movies.
And we know for a fact there were no xenomorph outbreaks on Earth, right? That Ripley would have heard about that. There would have been something about that. There would have been talk about that. It would have been like when they found the xenomorph, Ripley would have been like, "Oh shit, I read about that." You know what I'm saying? Like, so we know that didn't happen. So yeah, so what happens? Where do they go?
Yeah, something's got to give at some point, even if there is multiple seasons. It is so whatever. Yeah, the fact that, and I'm confident that they're going to cover their tracks, with this. I mean, or
same.
Maybe Wayland Yutani sees how this whole thing went down in his show, and that's why they want more xenomorphs, because they think that they can control them.
That would make a lot of sense, especially because I don't think the xenomorph was the mission in this show. No. I think the mission was anything you can get, the eye, the leeches, the metal eating bugs, anything you can get, bring them back so we can experiment on them. So I think you're right. I think this might be the inception of we can weaponize. We have an army of xenomorphs.
Yeah. Wow. I guess that makes sense then. Like, because they've never, I don't recall them ever explaining, right? They just wanted them.
No.
I remember throughout the movies. I don't remember ever them getting into too much detail like that.
Yeah, no, but before any of the retconning, like, one, no one even knew what the hell they were, right?
Yeah.
And I think, but there was the secret mission, like, once they bring it on board, it's like, bring it back. But I don't think they were there for that. And then two is, that's when they're like, yeah, we're trying to get them, we're trying to weaponize them, but that's all you get. And it's Paul Reiser, right? That's the character who that comes through. And then three, there's none of that because they're in that prison. And those are, and then I guess four, if you want to count that, it's them trying to weaponize it.
Yeah. So I mean, through the movies, they've covered, vaguely what you needed for it, but this is kind of giving. I almost feel like this is giving the meat and potatoes. It could be giving us the meat and potatoes. Yeah. So I think that's a lot of it. Also, there was also the character of who we saw, she thought she was pregnant. She gets her mind wiped, and then kind of corrected, and she's forgotten about that. And now Wendy finds out about that, and she's also kind of like disturbed by that, and that also kind of helps. It starts to really push her against Prodigy, like in general, kind of like, hey, they start forming a little faction there, and they're like, hey, they do not. That's when she says the boy genius is not your friend. Like, she's trying to like, listen, they don't have our best interest in mind, so we need to get the hell out of here. And she kind of has like her brother, who her brother's idea though is like, hey, I'm gonna have my sister back, and we're gonna, just go back to being a family and stuff like that, and we're gonna, be siblings, and we're gonna be happy and get out of here. But now with Wendy and the xenomorph, he even looks at her a couple of times when she's communicating with this thing, and especially in episode 7, there's that one scene where he has this look on his face, like, I think when she first like activates the xenomorph, right, for like killing, he has this thing where he's just like, all right, maybe this is not my sister, maybe. Or she's gone too far. Maybe she's just so far gone now that maybe we're not doing this. I don't know. Like, he's having second thoughts, right? Like, I guess you read it the same way.
Absolutely, and that's piggybacked off of the conversation he has with the doctor, rest in peace, from the 6th episode, because he has the idea of getting his sister out. He's having a conversation with the doctor, and the doctor plays it cool. He's like, yeah, everything's great. And then he types like, don't trust him. I'm going to do this for you. And he shuts down all of their tracking chips. But he says, like, what do you think's going to happen? You think at the end of all this, the boy genius is going to let you walk out here with your sister? That's not your sister. That's a piece of hardware. He owns her. And that's when I think that's what plants the seed of like, it is my sister, but is it? And we kind of see that play through, and then the doctor. We'll get to what happens with the doctor, but that was unfortunate.
Yeah. So in episode 6, there's also which carries into 7, where we get the doctor here, who was also questioning Prodigy a lot, and he's also kind of like wanting to shut down this program. And I think there was some of that previously that was being set up, but in episode 6,
and he doesn't.
Good.
He refuses. I'm sorry. I mean, were you going to say this?
No,
what he
no,
refuses
go.
to do?
No, go for it. Go for it. It's fine.
Yeah, he refuses. He refuses to wipe the girl's memory, the robot's memory. He's like, I think this is wrong. We shouldn't do this. And his wife is like, I'll do it. And so Boy Genius goes, okay, that's great. You're fired. Get the fuck out of here. And that's that. And that's why he's so disenfranchised. That's why he shuts their trackers down and he helps the brother out, which that is the one thing that causes everything that happens to be able to happen. Because without that, they would have just recalled them.
Yeah. And when they're going ahead and they're launching their escape, you're right. There's no trackers that are on there anymore. But then also we get Morrow and his, guy that he's going ahead and manipulating the entire time. And he finally gets him he's been telling him he needs a human host because he needs a xenomorph, for Yutani. And then unfortunately he sees another human available, and it turns out to be the doctor, and he gets him with a face hugger on him. That whole thing goes down. He's like in a thing, and then he's just trying to get him out of there and get him to the beach to get him there so that he can go ahead and get him to Yutani. And he gets some help from a reluctant Lost Boy there too, and but he ends up giving in. He doesn't want to do it, but then he ends up helping him. He kind of guilts him into like, hey, like my friend and this and that and everything. So they go ahead and they get him to the beach.
Family.
Yeah, he tells him what's going on, and he gets him to the beach later though. But then the face hugger falls off, and we usually know what happens to humans when that starts going down. He has a little bit of conversation there with them. He doesn't remember shit that happened. They start trying to play it off, trying to tell him. I think it was like an acid leak or something like that, or some sort of like explosion that happened. That's why he doesn't remember what happened. And they saved his life. And they saved his life, and they start painting this whole bullshit. And then, of course, chest busting happens. We get another baby xenomorph. So now we technically have the baby, and then we have the full size xenomorph running around together. And Wendy's controlling the bigger one.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I thought it was heartbreaking that it was the doctor, because the doctor only goes to the lab because of Toonces or whatever, the one who was killed. I forget his name. But he notices that Lost Boy is gone, and he goes to investigate, which is why he's there. And then he gets the face hugger, and then even after that, when he realizes that the boys are lying to him, he's like, "It's okay. Just tell someone who loves you. I will help you regardless of what it is." And he means it. And it's really, really sad because then the chest burst happens. But it's also equally as sad because the kid who masterminded this had no idea. Morrow told him, no, you bring him here, we get the... Slightly, there you go. Slightly had no idea. Like, Morrow said, bring him here, we'll get the thing out, we'll let him go. Morrow never said he was going to die, but we as franchise watchers knew right away what was going to happen.
Yeah. So that's where you kind of felt genuinely bad for the kid, because he was innocently just trying to save his family, but yet he ends up getting the doctor killed in a horrifying way and everything like that. And at that same time, though, the way to help them out, though, right? We also get there's a little showdown going on in the background here as well between Kirsch and Morrow, because they do beat face to face in episode 6, and you could see they kind of like have a thing, like a wanting to best each other with this, right? And then Kirsch goes ahead and he plays it off like he's helping them because he knows what's going on. He knows the communication between Morrow and Slightly, and he goes ahead and like helps him go out and everything like that. And did you think for a moment he did turn on Cavalier, or did you think he was manipulating them the entire time?
You know what? I did think I thought for a moment he turned on Cavalier, and it was for two reasons. One, at the end of 6, when you see him watch the doctor get the face hugger on him, and he's watching it. Cavalier goes, "Everything, what's going on there?" And he's like, "No, everything's fine." So there was that, and then there was when Morrow said, "My my first asset has been compromised. I got to tap the second." I was like, "Oh, is that going to be Kirsch?" But no, Kirsch was just playing this incredibly long con game of chess with this guy, which I did not see coming.
No, I didn't. I thought he turned on Cavalier also because they've also had this like weird this they've also had tension, Cavalier and Kirsch throughout the season so far, right? Where he kind of keeps telling Kirsch like he's almost obsolete. He tells him that on multiple occasions, like you're kind of like an old technology. I'm moving on to the hybrids and stuff, and now I got a xenomorph. Look at all the new toys I've got to play with. You're just the old model now. But yet the old model is the one who's got the mastermind going on and playing the 3D chess, that 4D chess that we didn't even see coming. All right. So we were both fooled on that one.
Absolutely. And there's that great moment because the baby xenomorph escapes, and then you see it get captured, but you don't see who captures it. And then you see Kirsch, he's like, finders keepers. And he might as well have just swung his dick out there. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, he and Morrow's face, like, bang. His face drops when he sees all that. Like, he knows he got him. You know, he's got the upper hand in this situation here. But while that's going on, though, there's this escape to the beach with Wendy, her brother, and Nibs, and then they're being surrounded by soldiers and stuff like that who are trying to go ahead and take them and stop them from escaping. But then Nibs tells them she fucking snaps and is like, Mr. Strawberry. What did she say? Mr. Strawberry says "fuck off" or something like that. And
because and he grabs it and throws it.
He throws it. She fucking snaps and grabs his jaw and rips it off completely. I didn't see that one coming either. Like, she went to violence immediately.
Yeah, well, look, there's something wrong with her. I mean, clearly, but she does that, and then the brother shoots her.
Yes,
because she's about to turn on because she does that. One of his friends, because he knows them, right? Those are his.
Yeah, those are basically co-workers, for lack of a better term, but
right.
He knows these prodigy soldiers,
right, exactly. And so then one of them goes to attack her, and she's like, "No," and she goes to put an end to it, and then he shoots her, and his sister looks at him like, "What the fuck did?" And I think she says, "What did you just do?"
Yeah. And then she activates the xenomorph, who fucking runs rampant right through them, and fucking murders all of them, essentially. And obviously, he doesn't know what to do now. Again, that's where he's just really, by the end of this, he's just like, "What the fuck?" He might not even recognize her at all now.
And I get that, but she's not wrong. She did give them an opportunity to stand down.
Yeah, she did. And I mean, she has arguably the most powerful weapon right now, in that universe here, where she can. I mean, she's the only one who can control the xenomorph. With her whole.
I wonder if they're going to go into how
Yeah. I don't.
If they're going to go into if it's replicatable or not.
I don't know. I mean, I remember when they first introduced this. Yeah, somehow she's able to mimic it. And she also too, she frees the xenomorph because when she does that thing where she touches the screen and she wipes. I mean, her abilities are fucking crazy. She can control the xenomorph. Yeah. She can touch a screen and manipulate what's going on in the screen. It's pretty crazy.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, no, she's very powerful.
Yeah. And what am I leaving anything? Did we not touch on anything here that was one of the many storylines?
I think that's it.
No, I think that is it.
Yeah, I think we hit on everything. And then they get Morrow, and then I guess imprison him, and then Kirsch gets the two Lost Boys back that killed the doctor, and I think that wraps everything up.
So where do you think this goes now in the finale? So we got one prediction.
All right. Well, I definitely think Boy Cavalier gets eyed. Gets the old stink eye, huh? There's got to be like a proper showdown between Morrow and Kirsch, of which I don't know who wins.
Yeah, that's we're gonna need that. We're gonna need Cavalier getting the eye. Then, what goes like? There's got to be something between. I think there's gonna be something between Wendy and her brother. Like,
I think maybe he's gonna break away and say, "I don't know you anymore," or whatever. Like, or she's gonna be pissed. You killed my friend. What the fuck are you thinking?
That's what I'm saying. There's definitely some tension between those two, and I don't think she would. I mean, do you think she would kill her brother?
Not intentionally.
Okay. So you think maybe
not intentionally, but I think if he attacks her and the Xenomorph protects her, I think he might be the aggressor.
Okay.
But I don't think she's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna kill you. I think she's gonna be like, I'm pissed at you. I'm not talking to you right now. But I think at some point he's gonna be the aggressor, and the Xenomorph's gonna cut him down.
So you think protecting Wendy, or maybe he's kind of like collateral damage in some sort of battle where she activates the Xenomorph for protection of some sort.
I was thinking protecting Wendy, but I think it could go either way. I'm just talking out my ass.
No. I mean, that's a good thing, because I mean, we don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna go. We know that Weyland Yutani wants the Xenomorph, right? So there
and we know they don't get it.
With that. Yeah, no, I can't imagine that they do. I don't know. So that's the thing. Like, now that there's a chance that there could be another season of this. Right, I mean, we don't know what kind of a sandbox they're going to play in now. Like, I really want it to be more. I don't want this to be the end of it and that's it. I would be pretty pissed. I'm going to be honest. Like, you've given me such an awesome show. I don't want it to go away now.
And I'll be honest with you, if you want to reset at the end of this season and be like, all right, now we're going to go to another part of this world, like, I'm okay with that too. It's just such a rich world. Like, I kind of want to see more quality content in this, in this franchise keep coming out like this.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been too much yet, but because this is a 20th Century Studios, not Fox anymore. 20th Century Studios is now they're owned by Disney. Franchise now, again, for some who want to over the last couple of years talk about Disney ruined Star Wars and they whatever with Marvel and stuff, like wherever you are with where that franchise is, they've resuscitated the Alien franchise like I never thought would be possible. I'm going to be completely honest. Between this show and Romulus, I didn't see this one coming at all. Yeah,
I still haven't seen Romulus, but this was amazing. Like I stop people in the street. Have you seen Alien Earth? Like it's that good.
Yeah. Well, when we get to the movies, you'll see Romulus, and I would be shocked if you're not on board with it, because I said I feel it's a great balance between Alien and Aliens. Between the two.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's getting a sequel, so I know that's a thing as well. So, that's also a pretty cool idea too. That if they wrap up this portion and they go to they can jump around with another set of characters and stuff. But I don't know. I also kind of have a tough time believing this is all going to be wrapped up in one more episode.
I agree. So that's why I'm saying I'm okay with both. Like, if you got more story to tell here, let's stay. If you don't, let's go, but go to a different place. I'm okay. I just want to see more stuff in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or just follow the eye around.
The eye will get a spinoff. That'll get the spinoff.
That's right. That's right. The eye gets a spin off.
It's called the
Private
Eye.
Eyes.
Wow. Wow. This is you are in rare form right here, right with this. You're fine. You're not missing tonight.
Yeah, all the eye puns, they're all coming out.
What if the Eye took over Columbo?
Oh my God, that would be great because Columbo's got the glass eye, and
exactly.
that would be fantastic. One more thing, and then Columbo shits himself like the goat did.
Yeah. Oh man, now that's the show we need.
I want to see this. I might go to AI after this and ask it to create Columbo with that eye thing in it, because I have no talent as an artist to do it myself.
You got to show me some of this. I have to. I'm sure there's got to be. I've seen some crazy shit online. People doing like stuffed animals, sheep, and stuff like that with eyes and whatnot. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a thing for Halloween. I would imagine.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so next week we'll be talking about the finale. I really can't wait. The show's got me buzzing, man. This is a good one. All right, so let's switch over to the DCU, as we got Peacemaker season 2, episodes 4 and 5. All right, so after our last episode, I had sent you an article. Like, I feel like it was like 15 minutes after we signed off. With and apparently the big online theory. Okay. After these 2 episodes, do you think this is it? You think the internet has figured it out, what's going on in the greatest universe ever?
I do actually. And the thing that pushed me was that it was very specifically Judo Master, a non-white superhero who followed Chris into the multiverse. And that's gotta that's what's gonna tip it off.
Yeah, people are gonna see him and be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yep. And Chris is gonna find this out, and I think he's not gonna be okay with it. Because who's his best friend? I mean, Jesus Christ, his best friend's out of bio.
Yeah, it's true. Even though Vigilante wants it to be him, but it's apparently not.
It's not. It's not. I think Vigilante gets on everyone's nerves, including Peacemaker.
Oh, of course, but I mean, they're definitely good friends. But I could see he definitely confides in Adebayo in a completely different way. So I guess in episode 4 is where we one of my favorite things I think in this is the conversation between Economos and Judo Master in the van. I have rewatched that so many times because the way it plays out is so ridiculous. Which is like, I wish you were dead. It's like right here in front of me, dead. You wish my corpse was right here, sitting next to you. Yes. And it's just like the way he delivers that too. I think it's hilarious. Like he's so into it. He's like, yes. And it's like, my corpse would be here, and you'd be walking around, parading around with it. He goes, yes. It would be your light and small, and it'd be a signal, a trophy of my victory. And I can show it around to everybody. He goes, do you want to show that? My corpse to my loved ones. And we keep torturing them and reminding them that I'm dead. And while he's just chopping away at his Cheetos and everything like that, he's like, dude, you've taken this a little too seriously. Like, I think this is you've gone too far now. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's hysterical. That's hysterical. Economos actually has some great lines in these two episodes as well.
He does.
What does he say about Rooker?
He's stealing scenes.
He really is, and he's like, just don't make me work with what is it, Captain Appropriation over here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because in that same scene, he's just like, you almost killed the Chinaman over here. He goes, asshole. Like, I'm Vietnamese. He's like, is that not where the Chinamen come? Like, no, like it's not what's going on here. That's not where they come from. It's like, no, you dick.
That was so funny. It's like, dude, he just told you he's from Vietnam.
Yeah, like
I love that.
And the whole thing
That's
with
what he says,
Michael Rooker's character, and he gets into the whole explanation of like his whole deal, and he's like, yeah, you know, like I wanted to kill all the eagles and like honor the Native Americans. He's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about here? Like, what is going on here?
And it kind of was like says something to him, like, you know, it's something along the lines of stop trying to appropriate their culture. And he's like, look, we have different ways of going about it, but the Native Americans and I want the same thing. And it kind of like, no, you don't.
Oh, he's such an asshole, but man, it's great. Anytime Michael Rooker's involved in stuff, I mean, he's awesome in everything he puts in.
Michael he's fantastic, and he's a guy who'll just go like elbow deep into a role. He doesn't care, you know. Like look at this. Like they have him literally doing like a shamanistic Native American kind of like, I don't know, dance or whatever to commune with the spirits, and he's just like fucking half naked doing it. Like,
oh yeah, he doesn't care. He's game for whatever. I think James Gunn can write anything for him, and he's just gonna be like, all right, I'm good. Let's go.
I think so. Yeah, I love that he's become one of James Gunn's like go-to people.
Yeah. And then we also, so I really do think there's a lot that goes down like in episode 5 more, where we get a lot of the background here with Rick Flag Sr. and his end games. That episode 5 opens up with basically the funeral, you know, of Rick Flag Jr. And he's talking to well, actually, I'm sorry, we can rewind for a second. For episode 4 though, is where we see that Hardcore is trying to get into, you know, get off this blacklisted thing that that Wallace put her on, and she starts to somewhat befriend Rick Flag Sr. Well, we know they knew each other now prior, but we didn't know that at the time. Where him being a director of Argus now, he can go ahead and help get her off this list. So he, you know, she's going ahead and he's like, listen, you got to bring me Peacemaker. That's it. That's what I want. That's what you got to do here. And that's where we get the beginning of episode 5, we get them talking at Rick Flag Jr.'s funeral and stuff like that. And we see that they have an established relationship and everything like that. And she's also kind of like, well, I'm going to go off to this Project Butterfly and whatever. But we know that she goes into season 1 of Peacemaker. What is going on over there? Oh, they're just dogs are messing around over there. All right, so yeah, so that establishes their relationship there, but then it goes into now, you know, like current day here, and we see here that Rick Flag Sr. is, you know, pushing the, you know, he's trying to get his plan where he's trying to go ahead and capture Peacemaker. We know that he's had this revenge plot for, we've seen it, even though it is interesting that he could. I mean, I still think he's whatever. We can save that for a minute because I know he tries to play it off at the end of the
I know
episode.
you're going.
Yeah.
Because I want to call bullshit on that, so we will talk about that.
Me too. So yeah, so throughout this thing, they capture Peacemaker in a situation where they have him cornered there. Hardcore is used as the bait. Peacemaker is tipped off not to show up, but then she goes ahead and, you know, she tells him like, don't show up. Like they have their code where, you know, it's like do not.
Copacetic.
Copacetic is their thing, and he still shows up because he genuinely wants to know. Like a lot of the season is him having feelings with Hardcore, and he doesn't care. He's going to go in. He thinks he can get out of it anyway, and he's like, whatever.
The scene. I'm sorry, but the scene where he's going to meet her is phenomenal because it's almost like a ballet of him dancing like between crowds of people because he knows they've got the sniper thing trained on him, and they're like, does he know that we've got this? And he clearly does. It's hysterical.
Oh, it's great. He jumps in front of one kid to the other person, so that it was showing off Peacemaker has fucking skills. He's not just like this goofball, that we're seeing. And he gets all the way to this bench and makes sure that they don't have a clean shot. And Judo Master is the one who is the sniper, actually, who's on the roof, who's trying to get the kill shot here. And she's telling him, like, Hardcore's telling him on the bench, like, I told you not to come. And he's just like, listen, I just want to know if there was anything there or not. Because Peacemaker's like, I can get out of this. He's very confident in it. But then it seems like she also feels like he's going to get killed. She finds a way to go ahead and tackle him and knock him out. So then he can be taken in by Argus and not get murdered. I mean, he's going to be put through some shit. But at least she saved his life.
Right.
Even though he sees it a little bit differently.
Rick Flag gives
she fucked it up.
Right, because Rick Flag gives the order for the kill shot to the woman who's a cyborg. Yeah. And so I think that's why Hardcore is like, and I think that's what Chris doesn't know, is that there's a robot there. So he hasn't taken, or cyborg, so he hasn't taken it into consideration. And Hardcore knows that the kill shot's been given. So I actually do think she saved Chris's life. Like, I don't think he was getting out of that just because he didn't have that piece of information.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I think Hardcore was right. I think just that Chris doesn't know that, like, because that gets a little thing between those two where he sees it as he was betrayed. She's like, dude, I saved your life. So that's there.
Yeah.
And then as he's being taken in, he sees Economos and gives him the what's up. And Economos is
hey,
like,
John.
well, it's being very familiar. This is weird. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
We know what's going on.
And this leads to one of my second favorite Economos line, which is when Hardcore is telling him to book him. It's like, no, you got to book him or they're going to kill him because there's no record. And Economos like, I can't do that. And she was like, weren't you just telling me that I was being an asshole for, trying to get back with Argus? And he goes, yeah, but that's you. This is me. I'm a famous pussy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I can't even look at people in the face. And he's like, I can't even look at her in that scene. Where he's doing that, but she gets him to do
notice that, but he never looks at people in the face.
No, not at all. Maybe Judo Master when he's saying that he wants him, he wishes he was dead, and his corpse was sitting right in front of him. Because he knows he can take Judo Master, and he already took him down once. Maybe that's what makes him feel more confident.
That's
right. But even in that scene where he's getting booked, and then there's this interrogation room where Rick Flag Sr. has him one-on-one and clears the room, and they know some shit's gonna go down. Even Tim Meadows' character's like, oh fuck, like we know he might kill him right now.
Yeah.
He even tips off Ginger Cool, which he calls Economos.
Ginger Cool.
He even's like, dude, this is wrong. Like he even picks up on it. Yeah, he did the right thing there.
He said to him, you did the right thing, because everyone's like busting his balls about putting him in the system, right? Like the woman, I forget her name, but the cyborg is like, what did you do? And he's like, oh, what did I do? I just took off some paperwork off your hands. But that's why it was nice that Tim Meadows walks over and he goes, you did the right thing.
And he gives him a head nod, which he told him to do a couple episodes ago when he acknowledges him, which I thought that was pretty cool too.
Ah, I didn't even catch that. Nice.
Yeah, when they first met, he was like, how do you want to be acknowledged? And he's like, head nod's fine. So he actually gives him that. So, Tim Meadows' character, even though he's got bird blindness and he's had these weird nicknames and all this other shit, like, there's some heart there in there.
Can anyone really hate a Tim Meadows character? Come on. Tim Meadows.
No, I'm so happy that he's in this show. Like, I haven't seen him in anything in a minute.
Yeah, so. Me too. It's been a while.
But then in that interrogation, though, Rick Flag Sr. is fucking beating Peacemaker to a pulp.
Oh shit!
And he doesn't want to fight him back because he feels guilty. Yeah.
No. Yep. And I love that, like, he's hitting him and he's like, I'm sorry, sir. And he's like, my son Rick was twice the man you are. And he's like, You're right. I'm sorry. I wish it could be different. Like, and he has them take the cuffs off of Chris. So, and we've just seen what Chris can do. I'm fairly certain Chris could take Flag down in a one-on-one fight.
He could. I think so.
A fair fight,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not even attempting. It's almost like he wants the beating because part of this the character arc for Chris is, and we really get to it at the end of this episode, is he wants to be able to move on from his wrongdoings. He wants to be able to show that he's changed and move, and he can't. And this is one facet, right? The father of your victim, who you respected and liked, and you killed him on the bogus order of someone else, but you still did it. And he's wrestling with that. So I think he takes that beating in hopes that this beating kind of exonerates him. And it doesn't, because of the conversation that we see him have with hardcore later.
You're right. No, you put it great. I do think it's almost like this is his punishment, because again, he never wanted to kill Rick Flag Jr. At all.
No, and he genuinely respected him. I think that was clear in the movie itself.
Yeah, agreed. So, but then that gets broken up. That gets stopped. He gets out of there. And then what is it? I think he honestly goes ahead and he's set free. Correct?
They set him free because he's got the shit beat out of him so badly, because they didn't expect him to be booked, and now he is. So if they didn't let him go, they would have to explain how he got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly. So he goes back and kind of gets cleaned up and stuff, and I think that's when he kind of like has this whole thought process of like he doesn't think redemption is possible on this earth. He's thinking, the only thing I can do is just go to the other dimension where I can kind of start clean. I can kind of escape all of this and everything like that. And he starts writing this letter, basically his goodbye to everybody, to out of Bayou and everything like that. And he's about to take Eagly and head off to the, and they do, by the end of the episode, they do head off to the other dimension. But then Eagly also is getting hunted down by Michael Rooker's character here. And there's this whole showdown that they have, and he shoots this other eagle, and it's like not him, and he baits him, and then we find out Eagly is like this. He is the grand eagle, crazy. And he sicks all these other eagles on him. That he was. So he wasn't nuts this whole time. We thought he was completely out of his mind, but it turns out he was right. He has this like glowing eagle thing behind him, and he commands the other eagles. And it was almost like a scene out of the Birds, where they come flying at him and they start almost like pecking him to death.
Yep. I'm sorry, Eagly, and then he starts trying to stab at them, and they like pull down. They rip him apart. It's an awesome death. A death Michael Rooker earned.
No, he did. For his cultural appropriations and his nonsense about eagles and all this other shit.
That's right. You don't try to kill Eagly. Eagly's the best actor in the show.
I think James Gunn even said in some interview or something like that Eagly was like the most powerful member of the 11th Street Kids.
I fucking love it. I love Eagly.
So they go ahead and they kind of like jump off to the greatest dimension ever. And
well, before they do that, so he does have this conversation with Hardcore, because that's why he goes to meet her. He needs to know, did it mean something, or was it just because you were drunk? And she's like, it meant nothing. I was just drunk. I've told you this. And he said, it's because of Rick Flag, isn't it? Because I killed Rick. And she was like, he's my only friend. And and that's when he makes the decision. That's when he realizes redemption is just not possible here. Killing Rick Flag just set him too far behind that he can actually get redemption, is how he feels. But it's that conversation that really sets him over the line. So I wanted to make sure that we revisit that, because it's also it's really like she's she's not lying. Like that's the really cool part about it is like she does care for Chris. She does genuinely understand that that he was given the order and it wasn't his call. She can't let herself forgive him because it was his friend. And I think she does love him, but she can't let himself. And it's just such a great moment because we know that Chris is trying to do the redemption arc, and it's just even his friend can't give him the forgiveness he needs.
Well, that's also too. I'm glad you brought us back to that because that also is reinforced in the beginning of the episode where they establish the connection between Rick Flag Jr. and Harcourt. Besides the fact that in the previous episode we find out, all right, they were sleeping together. Okay, fine, whatever. But like this really cements home how much he meant to her and everything like that, and why she pushes Chris away the way he. Besides just get away. At least now that there's more to it of why she's totally just not having it at all, and that's it. Like they will never go that far with that because of what he had done. And you're right, and that ultimately does push him to the other dimension. He ends up going there, and he's fighting crime with the, was it the Terrific Trio or whatever? And they're doing their thing, and they're heroes over there. And he even they take down a kaiju, which kind of resembles the one that we saw in Superman, and he even introduces Eagle-Eye to his brother. And he's like, this is going to be my sidekick now and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Let's go. All right, fine. We got a fucking giant eagle with us now, and that's it. And they go ahead and they accept them in there. And to the point where they go back to Argus, and then that Harcourt sees him, and she's like totally smitten with him. And, he's kind of seems like he's got everything he wants. But we know that, again, the shit is going to... The rug's going to get pulled out from under him. Like, I have a feeling it's going to be this week.
Oh, I think so. It's got to be. It's got to be because he's there. Judo Master's there. They have to address that. They can't wait a whole episode.
Oh, yeah. Judo Master. Sorry. Judo Master follows the open door.
Yeah. And I love that I followed, and he doesn't even sign it. There's just the fiery Cheeto handprint on it, which is hysterical.
Yeah. And they find it. Yeah, the 11th Street kids find it, and they see the Cheeto thing on there, and they're like, "Oh yes, Judo Master followed him."
Exactly, which I thought that was hysterical. But yeah, so I think whether we're correct or not, or the internet's correct or not, we know something is going to happen to make him have to leave and not stay there. We know there's something wrong with the universe. Definitely, we are finding out what it is this next episode.
Yeah, I think it is going to be this week. We're going to find out finally what's the big issue with this universe. And we also know that they're trying to activate, the 11th Street Kids are trying to activate the portal because they want to go ahead and set it up, and they're going to go over to try to find them as well. Yeah. So they're going to try to get their friend back.
Yeah.
And when the thing we mentioned Vigilante earlier, and it is pretty heartbreaking when he finds out that he's gone because he goes into Autobody and is like totally broken down and crying and everything like that. And they're all like distort, and that's where they're like, but Harcourt's the one who's like, we're going to go get him back. So.
Yeah. And I think that's really interesting because he closes the thing behind him, the doorway, and he leaves the activated with a note saying, this should be able to buy all of your ways back into Argus. This is better for me. I love you all. Use this. Go set yourself up. But Harcourt, and again, this is just a double down that, it was never about getting back into Argus because she's the one who says, show me how to work this thing. Adebayo, you saw him do it. Show me. She's the one who wants to go, like, who's really pushing, let's go get him. And I think if they go through that portal and it is the kind of universe we think it is, the fact that Adebayo is going to be coming with them, I think that might be the bigger thing that like pushes Chris to be like, no, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, don't fuck with my best friend.
Right.
Yeah, on top of obviously, but it's like that'll hit harder home because it's his best friend, for this.
Right. I mean, I don't think he'd be cool with if it was Judo Master and he
not at all.
Judo Master because Yeah, because Chris isn't a fucking racist,
No, it's not.
But I think like if it's yeah, but if it's like my best friend, it's like okay, now I've got extra motivation.
It's personal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say this time it's personal.
All right, so we'll see where episode 6 is. We got some predictions out there too. I think this is where the rug will get pulled out from Chris and see what's what. All right, and then we got Gen V back, season 2, episodes 1 through 3, as Amazon loves to do, to drop their 3-episode premieres. Yeah, I mean, Jason, we could take the lead on this one. This is. I liked it. I think we're off to a good start. I mean, I love being in the world of the boys, and that kind of gets established as always immediately in like the opening scene of episode 1. We get the Odessa, we get and like Dr. Godolkin and everything like that, and we get to find out what the hell that's about, and we get blood and exploding bodies all over the fucking place, and you're like, yep, we're back in the boys' world. That's where we're at now, because this is how it goes down.
That was a cool scene. But I'll tell you something. I sit down, right? I had a little time yesterday because we were supposed to do the show yesterday, but we moved it because we needed time to watch Gen V. So I watched it yesterday. My family was out. I made myself a nice sandwich. I was sitting down to lunch. Oh, like when the pustules in the guy's face starts exploding, and like I was like, oh, okay, I'm not hungry anymore.
No, I'm good. As much gory shit as we watch, I'm the same way. I'm just like, I'll wait till this episode's over.
It's just it was still a bit too realistic about it, and I don't like horror. I don't like body horror, which I think we established. That's why I was afraid of Nightmare on Elm Street as a kid, because it's a lot of body horror. So that's kind of my thing. But it was a killer opening.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a great open. It pulls you in. We get to meet Godolkin, who we find out later is the head of, or the person who founded the school. It has something to do with the tests they were running that wasn't ready. It has to do with Odessa, and that then we come back to present day. Jordan and Cricket are being rounded up. They don't know what's going on. They think they're going to be executed, but they're brought back to Godolkin. They've been exonerated as long as they just read off some cue cards and play the game. Kate is there. Kate and Sam. They are not having it. They don't trust Kate at all because she sold them out. She claims that she was trying to help them. And I think it's when they get out was when we first find out that Andre from the first season is dead. He was killed trying to escape. And now, unfortunately, we know that was written because the actor unfortunately passed away before they started filming this, and he was very young, and it was very tragic. I liked that they made his death matter. Like everyone is affected by it. Kate is like, when she finds out, she has her own moment of guilt and trying to figure it out. Sam, who is pretty much like all drugged up with Kate's sort of touch, influence, and she's retraining his brain influence. It starts getting to him. Like everyone who finds out that he is dead it becomes part of their motivation to do what they're doing. So I think that was a nice tribute for the character.
Yeah, I was very curious to know, because I know before episode 1, it's like, for Chance, and it was Chance Perdomo who was the actor's name who had passed away. And I think it was like when it may have been in pre-production, or it was when they just started filming this, and that's why they halted production. And they had to rewrite some stuff, and they decided they weren't going to recast.
Yeah.
And they were going to go forward with it. And I was very curious to know how they were going to address his character, and I felt it was going to be right off the bat, and it was. And yeah, I agree. I'm glad it's a driving force behind a lot of the motivations, a lot of the characters in the season who feel a lot of guilt about what happened to him, because they did smartly write him, because they did mention his father and him were having issues when using their powers. It was kind of killing them. So it was an escape attempt. where he had to go ahead and really use his powers, and they had mentioned that. So they made sure he had like a heroic. It was in a heroic way that he had passed on. I thought that was smart writing on their part.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know what the status of this character would have been otherwise, but they kind of bring his father into it.
Yeah, I wondered if that's what was supposed to kind of be where he was going to be. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, because part of the motivation, so Cricket goes to see him, and Cricket and Jordan, they're playing along, but they're trying to find Marie. They're trying to find a friend. They're trying to find something because they know they're stuck at Godolkin. They know what's going on. Everyone at Godolkin know, well, not everyone, everyone who matters, like in the Dean Cipher and all these people, they know that these people are were never guilty of what they were accused of. But were put there anyway. So they know they're in dangerous territory. So they go to see Polarity, and he's drinking himself to death. He's like, I lost my son. And he has a really nice moment where he's like, I was supposed to protect him, but I gave him to him. My own son. I gave him, like, I sacrificed him. And Cricket's like, well, you know, what do you want to do? Waste your life or avenge your son? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. But then he comes back. He has a change of heart, and he comes back on. And I love, like, the scenes with him and Cricket. Cricket's like his TA.
Yeah.
And I Cricket's my favorite character in this entire show. I think it's the same thing in the first season. And so, like, I love seeing their adventures together. They're like, you know, there's a scene where they're looking for information on Odessa. Oh, I guess because Starlight, yes. I'm getting ahead of myself. So Starlight, all right, let's go back to Mary. So everyone is at Godolkin. Mary's on the run. Mary escaped. Mary tries to pay for some groceries. She's $2 short. A nice guy who winds up being a Starlighter, gives her the money, and she returns the favor by pretty much stomping a whole bunch of what are they called in this universe?
I think they call home team.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Home team is Starlighters and home team.
Yeah, and you see the home teamers like, wow, you're out here sticking up for that pedophile, like, and I got to admit, because of the current climate we're in, man, it was hard to watch.
Yeah, this show it definitely is hitting close to home and reality a bit with a lot of stuff that was going on here, but also the creators of the show haven't shied away from it. Because remember the last season of The Boys, there was that whole thing of like, remember that it was the oh shit moment where it was like, oh wait a second, are you trying to say that Homelander was supposed to be this, and you know it was supposed to be mirroring certain things? Because since day one. What have you been watching? Yeah. Like, what's going on here?
No, and this absolutely doubles down on it in a very smart way. It's just watching some of the antics of these people was hard.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So she saves this guy's life, and then Starlight actually tracks her down, and she's like, "Hey, I found you because of the video. You know, I saw blood. I was. Oh no, that's our friends did that too. But anyway, I was tipped off. Hey, I need you to go back to Godolkin. I need you to find out everything you can about Project Odessa."
Yeah.
And Marie's like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting involved." Yeah. And then Cricket and Jordan see that same video, deduce everything they need to deduce, and they find her, and they track her down pretty fucking quickly. And she's like, "No, I'm not coming back." And then Kate follows them. And look, I feel bad, but I think they did the right thing, because Kate right away is like, "Yeah, let me come here. I'll go. I'll just fuck with your heads. You'll all come back." And that's why when Jordan pushes her with his force, or their force, and it cracks her skull, Marie is gonna save her, but she's like, "No, wait, you can't touch her because you can't trust her."
It's true.
And so and they lay there for dead. But like, what are you gonna do?
No, it was Marie's put in a really tough spot there with that, and I honestly thought she was dead. I actually thought that they had killed her in that episode. But
I did too.
yeah,
I'm kind of glad they didn't because there's some good stuff brewing, but I thought they did too.
Yeah, I definitely thought she was dead. And I think that's how episode 1 ends, is where we're led to believe that she was dead.
Yes, absolutely. But not before meeting Dog Whistle, the bounty hunter, which is just a dog, the bounty hunter, play a dog, the bounty hunter. But like he's tracking Marie, and you first introduce him when he's like trying to mate with the dog, and the dog walks away. He's like, "Bitch, stuck up, bitch," and then he goes into this 7-Eleven.
Does he say like cock tease or some shit like that?
That's it. Yeah, cock tease. And then he's sniffing all the things that Marie held. Yeah. Because like it's so fucking crazy. And then he tracks her down, and Starlight is like saves her. But
yeah,
I love these villain characters. Like these soups are amazing.
Yeah, and then he supposedly has like his own show and everything like that, because like the guy who is at the supermarket there, he's like, yeah, I'm such a fan of your show and all this other stuff. So like again, it's like we see the creepy side of these soups, yet like their public sees them as like these heroes, which is part of the whole gag with this whole
right. That's the whole point, right? Is how would they be behind the curtain?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so then we get the next episode, and I think the next episode is they do some more digging into Odessa. That's catches us up where Polarity and Cricket are pretending that they need to research information on Godolkin himself. You get this great like moment with Cricket, who thought she dropped a Xanax, but it was actually a Molly, and she's rolling, and she uses that like giddiness and just that surge of emotion to charm the rememberer, who is like used to have a show where he remembers everything. And it was a great moment. Polarity is like, yeah, I haven't seen you since 10 years ago. He's like, actually it was August 7th night, and it gives the date, the time, and it's like, we were both going out for the same role, and you said something, this snippy comment to me, and I walked in and I forgot a line. I remember. And it was just, it's so funny because he remembers every single detail.
But then
and then
Cricket goes ahead and doubles down on it and is like starts faking that she was this huge I mean, to an extent, maybe like she knew about him and like was a huge fan of his show and stuff like that. And he feels all giddy and happy and like someone remembered him.
I don't actually think she's faking it, because like she definitely has seen that show, because they have that moment where they give the catchphrase at the same time, which makes it even better for me. And then like they go and Cricket has this great moment like, hey, should we open that secret door? Because I've been listening to this fan going on in the next room for like 10 minutes because she's still rolling. And so they get into the secret room, and it's like all the hidden archives in it, but it's all like he's a KKK member, he's got Nazi memorabilia, like they're really, really going into it. And so Polarity, of course, was black, and he makes it a point of saying in a previous episode, like, notice the only person who didn't make it out was the African American kid. Yeah. And so like now he's faced with all of the racist sort of ideology that Godolkin was built on. Yeah. And then Cricket, one of the like her she has so many great moments. This is one of my favorites in these 3 episodes. Goes, I figured it out. I know who Odessa is. Boom, she gets really big. Boom. Because a new thing they're doing now is her confidence. Whenever someone makes her feel small, she shrinks. But whenever she feels really confident and she has a confidence boost, she gets bigger.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to keep on yakking and hacking up, even though for her to shrink down, she ends up, they said, 3 shredder bins full of vomit, where she had to like go ahead and to get back down to like normal size there.
Yes. Yeah. It's gross.
Try not to think about it too much.
Yeah. No. But so that was that. So they get that, and then she goes to Marie and she's like, you're Odessa. And Marie's like, all right, well, I don't believe this. This is way too coincidental. The Starlight's setting us up. What the fuck's going on here? And she's like, you know what? Let me track down my aunt, who raised my sister, but not me. Because her family hates her. Everyone hates her, right? Because she murdered her parents.
Yeah.
And I'm putting that in quotes. And she goes and she gets the information that she needs. She finds out that this Dean Cipher, who we'll get into in a minute because we're going character by character almost here. But he was there at the facility that she was born in. She's holding him he's holding her as a baby. Her family's there, and she finds out that her family didn't get money to shoot her up with the V serum. They were having trouble conceiving, and so Vought allowed them to help them conceive with the understanding they do this. So it kind of starts to reshape how she thinks about her family. Finds out that the aunt has been hiding the fact that her sister lives there, and her sister hates her, and she has a moment. The aunt's like, well, what did you expect us to do? You murdered your parents. And she was like, no. As a child, I got my period. That's all that happened. I didn't murder anyone. This happened to me. And she even says, I loved my parents. Great moment.
No, it was. It really changes a lot around the dynamic of Marie in this show, like what she sees, and she's heartbroken. She finally found her sister, and now like she thinks her sister sees her as a monster, and as does her aunt sees her as a monster too. So she has to get going, and she's like, well, there obviously will follow up on that more between the sister and her. I'm sure as time goes on. They also do state her sister was conceived naturally. She was more of like the miracle after that.
Yeah. Well, what a cunty thing to say by the aunt. Like, I guess she was the real miracle. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I do love where she's. I like when she has it out with the aunt and like really like puts her in her place.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was just awful.
No, it is. It's totally fucked up. Marie's gone through some shit, and plus she also her and Jordan also hook up, and we find out she loses her virginity. They get it on, is right.
Yep, that's right.
And is the first I love you.
I find it interesting. Yep, and I found it interesting that I think they first hooked up when Jordan was a female, and then they turn into a male.
Yeah.
And that's when she gets the I love you, and you find out that she was a virgin. She had never done that before. And Jordan is like kind of at first they're like, well, I don't know, that's a big step. You don't tell the first person you had sex with you love them. But then by the end they're like, no, I love you too.
Yeah.
And there's like a really sweet moment of like, let's go watch Netflix or whatever. I mean, they have a really sweet couple moment, which I thought
they're gonna go to Olive Garden, of course, and stuff like that, and they're talking about that, and they're gonna have like go actually on like a date per se instead of hooking up, because they mentioned about hooking up between like life-threatening situations and stuff like that, and then maybe you want to just do something like kind of normal.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that was very nice. And it was nice. It's nice to see Marie a bit kind of vulnerable, because she's very tough, and she was very tough in the first season. So we're trying to peeling back some of those layers now, which I think is nice. Jordan has some really nice moments with Marie, but also with Sam, because Jordan wants to help him. So Kate wakes up. Kate, her powers are gone. She can't use them. And she can't reset Sam's comm center anymore. And so Sam goes back to the dorm, starts trashing shit. And Jordan's like, hey, stop that. Let's talk. And they start fighting. And Jordan gets him outside, and he's like, why do you always try to kill people who are trying to help you? And then he convinces them to just relax and go smoke a joint and watch like a kid show. And it's a puppet show, like it's Vought. It's like V Street, but it's like Sesame Street from Vought.
Yeah.
And you notice like this is where he goes when he has those puppet like hallucinations that we see him have, like when he's with his girlfriend, she breaks up with him, he's like, I don't care. The tuna fish sandwich is like, everyone thinks you're a monster.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't like ditch that part because I'm glad that that was back because those things with Sam are pretty damn funny.
They're fantastic, and the fact that like it was cured by just watching the old show and smoking some pot. I mean, isn't that how everything should be cured? Watching old television and smoking some pot.
That's it. Well, he also mentions too that I think him and his brother used to watch Avenue V, and even though his brother was like older, he would still hang out with him on Saturday mornings and they would watch it together. That was very much of his like comfort show, you know, to like calm him down and stuff like that. So I thought that was actually a pretty nice thing. And it also gives a background of why he sees these things. And then when his comfort turns on him when he's distressed and stuff like that. It starts telling him fucked up shit and all this other stuff. Yeah. So it has more layers to that, that whole thing.
No, absolutely, which I love. I think it's really smart. And I think he's the character I'm most interested in because, like, he's crazy.
Yes.
Like legit. Like, he is not always in touch with reality.
No, he's not. And he also, you know, what Kate has been doing for him, just kind of making him forget about things and forget all the bad shit that he did. Because they also do acknowledge what happened. It was the summer internship, which was season 5 of The Boys, season 4, when we see what they did for Vaughn, because they had cameos in that season, especially towards the end. He does flash back to that. He knows what he did was fucked up. Kate keeps on telling him to like not care. Don't care about anything. Just don't react to anything, and that's it. And that's all she can do to kind of like harness him in. But as she's knocked out and she can't use her powers now, she doesn't have them at the moment. Like, he's little by little. I thought they did a great job of showing how he's becoming undone, and he's starting to like rock back and forth again, and he's starting to like become unhinged, and he's starting to remember everything that what happened. I thought that was a pretty cool arc for Sam throughout these 3 episodes. And there's a drag out battle with Jordan. Like, they fucking start throwing through walls and all this shit. They run into the dude who's putting somebody else in his ass and the other stuff. Because if you see that character who's the frat guy who was just his gimmick is putting everything in his ass.
Stand up his ass.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like taking kegs, and now there was a person in there.
There was a guy just
someone's head pops out.
Was that a soup coming through? Like, that was this show or the Boys universe in just whatever. But
it's wild. It's just anything can happen.
Insane.
Yeah,
that was insane. And then so then just to end just the little Cricket thing that's left, and then we'll talk about Dean Cypher. So Cricket has this thing where she's on the campus. She's not in this class that Dean Cypher is pretty much giving. It's pretty much like a fight to the death class. He's very much Magneto in this moment where he's like, I'm going to push your powers way beyond than you know they could go, and you're going to learn them better, which is a very Magneto thing to do. And so Cricket is in her own adventure, and you see that there are humans who work here, and they have to wear lanyards that say humans. They have to get patted down. There's a woman they're following that's where we're getting to it now, that she's being harassed, and as she's walking in, the human X-ray looks her up and down, licks his lips, and it's like, ugh. And then someone keeps putting up this like resist flyer, and the soups think it's her, and they keep threatening her, and she has this line where she's like, Cricket's like, not all of us are like that, some of us do care, and she's like, I'm just so sick of being told I'm gonna get murdered or raped because of this. And like, that felt real, because that's the kind of shit happening, right? You got these homelanders out there telling women that they should shut up or get raped or be murdered, you know? And it's like, that's hard to watch.
Yeah, the human thing was definitely the human, like, barista girl. Like, yeah, that was a messed up situation that was going on there, because the poster keeps popping up behind her, and she has nothing to do with it. And that one dude who comes, I think he like spits acid or some shit like that, like the big guy. And he spits in like the tip cup, and he starts talking shit to her, and then everyone kind of like thinks it's her, and she has nothing to do with it. And every time it's gone, it comes back again, and they're trying to figure it out. And Cricket eventually tracks it down and finds out it was two in-house people, two students who are just kind of doing prankster shit, and they're talking about spray painting the Homelander thing and like doing shit like that. And by the end of it, she's like, "You guys can do more than this. This like just juvenile like vandalism shit. Like you guys can really start making a difference." And she tries to like rally the troops. How Andre believed in her, she even says, "I believe in you guys the same way. You can be heroes and do more." And we'll see where that goes truly by the end of it. Well,
she's raising an army.
Season. We have a lot of whole season to go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I like that. You see that it's like one of the girls has a tail, and her power is she could take power for like, I don't know, 30 seconds. Yeah, she's a chameleon.
He's rogue essentially, but
fucked up. I don't know why. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know why they keep putting it up by that poor barista's workstation. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's like, unfortunately, she's the one who's running the shit for this. That what they're doing here.
Yeah.
But apparently they have other shit planned and everything like that.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that goes. And then we get to Dean Cypher. So new Dean of Students. He's our new villain. We don't know what his powers are. They make it very clear. They say that a couple times. We don't even know what he can do. He's a very interesting character, kind of a badass. Like when Kate finds out that Andre's dead, she tries to touch him, and he's sitting there like blending up a smoothie, and you just see him like grab a towel, and she goes to touch him. He does one of these, wraps a towel around her hand, and without making skin contact, starts to put her hand into the blender, but very calmly, like, "Who's in charge now? I like you, but you don't forget who's in charge."
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, I'm sorry. And you see him be kind of a similar badass as we go along, right? Like I love the moment where he goes, "Okay, now get out of," I think it's right after this. "Now get out of here. Lunchtime really is the only me time I get." Like his lines are hysterical.
Yeah. And also when she starts talking, she makes threats to him. I think it's in episode 3. When she's like, "Oh yeah, well, we'll go ahead and just tell Homelander about this whole situation that happened." Like, because when she recovers, she's like, she knows what happened to her, and she wants it outed. And she's like, "Well, I'll just tell Homelander." And he goes, "Well, let's just talk about how that phone call is going to go." And he simulates talking to Homelander, and basically saying if Homelander knew you didn't have your powers, he's going to see you as basically worthless and human, and basically you can go fuck off then. And that's it. He's not going to help you because he's going to see you as nothing. And he's right, because that's exactly what Homelander would do.
He's 100% right. And we know because she, like, Marie is Odessa. Like, that is figured out, right? Yeah. Or is tied to that. And we know that he has ties to her. So it's clear why, like, this is all about her, right? Okay, yeah, you come back and all's forgiven. They like set up some Starlighters and had them executed for it. It was 10, like at the end of the episode of episode 3, right? Jordan lets all that go in public because Jordan gets counted as the head, the number one in the rankings or whatever. So I thought that was super interesting, and yeah, this Dean is very interesting. So I'm curious where this is going. I'm curious what Odessa is. I'm curious how this guy plays into all of this.
I also wondered if they were gonna when we found out that Godolkin was the actual doctor was a Nazi and all the other stuff. I thought we were gonna get ties into Stormfront because remember she was also a Nazi.
Me too.
And the boys. I was wondering if we were going to get some sort of acknowledgement because I also know they're doing that prequel series, that spinoff as well, where she's going to be in it with Soldier Boy. And I'm wondering if they were. I don't know when that's coming out. Yeah, they're doing a Vought prequel series. So I was wondering if they were going to tie that in more, but they still got time, obviously. Again, it's a whole bunch of a season in here. And they do a nice, subtle job of making sure this is the boys' universe without beating you over there. We also got a cameo from the Deep, of course, who is a head frat boy.
I was saving that for the end. Yep.
Oh, okay. So head frat boy who is giving this speech, and then there's this huge dildo that these dudes end up dropping trow in, and they obviously get violated with this thing, and then he's yelling at this guy for not cleaning it properly.
It's I mean, it's very deep.
Oh man. You are on one tonight, man.
I am. No, but it was nice to see him. It took me a second when he had his robe on and he put it off. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I love that actor. The Deep is, I think, my favorite of those characters because I think he's the most pathetic character ever written.
Oh yeah, no, he's such a deep and such a weaselly shit. Yeah. Yeah, and also
we also in that the head of that frat.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say in Avenue A, we also see that the characters that were being used to sell like a bought Happy Meal was a cartoon version of the Deep with what was the octopus he was banging? Because
oh my god, the name. Yeah, I forget the name of the octopus. Yeah,
but the octopus is there. And also Black Noir is in like this little boat, and they're the ones selling this fucking bought Happy Meal. I'm like, this is just so twisted.
That's
so twisted to the public.
No, it's fantastic. And yeah, so we also get as the head of that fraternity, the guy from the first season who got his dick blown up.
Yes.
So he's in it, and I think it was hysterical because it's like, well, they made us get rid of our frat because a couple of people died of alcohol poisoning. But how could you not drink, 12 kegs and be a soup? Like, I thought that was hysterical. But now it's the new regime, so they're brought back, and then I think there's a line about like, the new sorority pledges are either up on the stage or getting deflowered on the bench by the Deep.
Oh yeah. and he also gets called out for being dickless again. But I think it's doesn't Cricket call him out for that?
Yes, yeah. He's like, because he was bothering the barista. He's like, "Why do you got to bother her? Huh? Just to make up for the fact you have a dick." He's like, well, "I got a dick." No, you don't.
Such another one who's just like such a weaselly shit. He was like what he was trying to do to Maria.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought these three episodes were great. I really enjoyed them. It's nice to be back in this world. Nice to be rematriculating in Godolkin University. Yeah. This is It was off the my radar for a minute. I knew it was supposed to come back in September, but I guess I just forgot lost track of time recently with shit, and it's just like I was like, that's a pleasant surprise. We're gonna get Gen V also now. So now we got next week we're gonna have the finale of Alien Earth, another Peacemaker. We get more Gen V, and we get Marvel Zombies next week. Shit. Shit. We got a heavy docket.
For a minute there, things were kind of slow, and that's where we were, a little behind baseball. That's where we were taking our time with a lot of things, and we had a little semi-summer vacation type thing, and then, wham! Welcome back. Like everything comes down at the same time. Now we're back to the grind. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I think that pretty much kind of wraps it up for us this week. Thanks for joining us as always. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, be sure to check out Granny's Peach Tea's Facebook group, where we share a whole bunch of trailers and other stories that don't go ahead and make the cut on the show. Check out Pop Culture Pros and popculturepros.com because that's who we are represented by. If you check us on YouTube, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros and subscribe wherever you found your audio-only podcast. Like I said, Jason and I will be back next week. We got more Gen V, more Peacemaker Season 2, finale of Alien Earth. Can't wait to see that. We got the boy genius with a friggin' eye in his head. We'll see how that goes. We're hoping
Can't wait.
Some Marvel Zombies, which I don't know if they're dropping one episode a week or just the 4, because I know there's only 4 episodes on us at once. But I'm excited to see how that's going to play out regardless. And I think they drop I think Alien Earth is tomorrow night. Gen V is Wednesday. Peacemaker is Thursday. And I think Marvel Zombies is also Thursday. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta keep up. I gotta keep up with it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next week then. Peace.